Hi, how are you tonight? We are Tuesday before Thanksgiving, and I'm Melissa Mann, and I'm trying to adjust so that you can't see the light behind me in the window, but it's kind of a lost cause, so we're just going to let that be. That's all right. So, how's everybody doing tonight? I still have to work tomorrow. I know half the world is off today. It was evidenced by all the traffic trying to get anywhere this evening. I think it's like Friday, but I still work tomorrow, and my husband still works tomorrow, so not quite the end of the week yet. But I know that we have all of the things with holidays starting. I already have my tree up. Yes, that's annoying. I know. I'm sorry. But the kids wanted me to put it up, and I was like, yeah, screw it. All right, let's do it. So that was last night. And today is, I don't know, the middle of the week. So I was trying to figure out what to talk about tonight. And I want to talk about relationships and holidays with Thanksgiving this week and all the things. And I don't know, I got a little stuck. And I was like, what is that? Why am I stuck? What is it? Like, nothing was coming for me. Nothing was pinging me. And I started kind of looking at different things. I'm like, oh, if you're dating somebody, what does that look like for the holidays? And if you're single, what does that look like for the holidays? And I mean, the word that just kept coming back to me was pressure. And I maybe that's not how we want to think about the holidays and the excitement of, seeing family and friends and all of it. But that's just what kept hitting me was if you're single and you go home, see your family and they're like, oh, how come you're still single? So much pressure to be with somebody, find somebody, have a relationship. And if you're in a relationship, then there becomes all this pressure of, do I bring them home? Do I not? Do I go home with them? Are we meeting families for the first time? And not only is that pressure to impress the people you're meeting, if you're, meeting your significant other's family for the first time, but then there's this pressure you're sort of putting on everybody else. So there's pressure on you, and then there's this pressure of what are you wanting your significant other to be in front of your family, and this pressure to, I hope they like them. I hope everybody gets along. And so there's sort of that pressure. And then there's this pressure of your family. And I hope the person I'm dating likes my family, and I hope they're not crazy today. Please don't be crazy today. I don't want them to see how crazy my family really is. And all around, there's just sort of pressure from every which angle that you look at it. So I was thinking about, and there's all these different scenarios where we have all this pressure on ourselves and pressure on our significant others and pressure on our family, pressure from our family. And what do we do with that? So we don't go into every room feeling like we got these huge barriers up where we're on guard. You kind of go into situations guarded and, how do I present myself properly, and what do I wear, and how do I act, and what do I say, and what do I do? And then you're looking at your significant other and going, God, I hope they act okay, and I hope they don't say anything weird, and I hope my family doesn't say anything weird, and that's what kept coming to me. So what do we do with all of that? What do we do with this pressure that the holidays sort of brings up? And I guess my first thought was, geez, I don't know. I was like, I've dealt with that my whole life too. And then I remembered the trip home that I had when I went down to Texas, which is not actually my home where I grew up. I grew up around the Chicago area where I live now, but my family is in Texas. And it wasn't the holidays when I was there last. But I remembered how different I was when I was there. And I know I talked about this right when I got home, if you follow all my lives, but if you don't, when I came back from that trip, well, even on that trip, I realized how much I had changed and how much I was able now to go into interesting point of view, which is really allowing judgment and all the judgments that we would normally have just to dissipate and to flow through me, where before I used to go into judgment of them, of me, of the way everybody reacted and trying to figure out where I fit. And for the first time ever, I had barriers down instead of barriers up, where I was most likely to get defensive and angry and upset about things. But instead, I consciously pushed down all my barriers and allowed everything around me to just flow through me and none of it to trip me up. And when I say interesting point of view, if you haven't heard me talk about it before, this works for absolutely every way that you're judging yourself or anybody else, or any judgments that anybody else is putting on you. Anytime there's judgment anywhere, which is pretty much anytime you have a thought, a feeling, behavior, an emotion, instead of aligning and agreeing with it or resisting and reacting to it, I just go interesting point of view. And if it's me, I go interesting point of view, I have that point of view. And it's just an acknowledgement of your points of view that are coming up in that moment. And you're not making it right or wrong or good or bad. You're just acknowledging it. And I'd just been practicing that since probably May of this year when I went in September. So it had been, a good few months. And it started to just come naturally being around my family and not allowing myself to go into judgment and reaction and all the things that I used to do. And so if I could give you one tool for dealing with all the family pressure and all the pressure you're putting on yourself and all the pressure everybody's putting on you, it would be to go into interesting point of view. And anybody says, oh, when are you going to get a relationship? When are, you're still single, time's a ticking. Allow yourself in your mind to just go, okay, interesting point of view. And nothing else. And you smile politely and say, yeah, I know. We'll see. Something just to kind of allow that to just, when you're not reacting to it and God, I know, I'm trying, right? You're not having this negative reaction and you're not having a positive reaction or negative reaction or any kind of reaction. And you just smile and say, yeah, I don't know. We'll see when it happens. And kind of, there's nothing else for that person to say to you. I mean, they can keep going. Well, you really should do this. Okay. I know. I'll get on it. Thanks for your feedback. I'm aware. Whatever you need to say. But without going into this negative space of coming down on yourself or getting mad or any of it. And when you don't resist and react or go into woe is me, I know I need to find somebody, I'm so lonely, right? If you don't go into that aligning and agreeing either, just let it flow through you. And if they see whoever you're talking to, your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your aunt, your grandma, whoever it is, but if you're not allowing it to shake you and you're just kind of let the energy of that flow through you, then you're just going with your day and you have some food and some pumpkin pie and life goes on and it's okay. And if you are with somebody else, any points of view that they have towards your family, I mean, you can have a conversation, be real about it, of course, not in front of your family. You may forewarn them for the way things could go. But at the end of it, if you're not getting worked up over it, you're not getting embarrassed and upset and you just are like, yep, this is just my family. This is just kind of the way things go, and you're not judging you and you're not judging it. They're not going to judge it either. And they're going to say, oh, I feel like I know you better. Regardless of what it is. You get a glimpse of somebody's sort of growing up years in childhood when you see them around their family again. So then they get to know you better and what you grew up around. And that's not a wrongness. It just is. And the same goes the other way. If you're seeing your significant other's family for the first time or really getting around them more than usual, or you're meeting extended family for the first time, same kind of a thing. Just see what it is, interesting point of view, all of it, anything anybody has to put on you, and just see it as interesting. I mean, truly, when we talk about interesting point of view, let it be interesting. And, so, oh, wow, I can see now how this person might have acted this way, or I see where, he got this trait from, or so you just look at it all as just interesting. And it doesn't need to be in judgment. And you don't have to decide whether you like these people or don't like these people. You're just seeing what it is and seeing how it is without any kind of rightness, wrongness, judgment of it at all. Does that make sense? So more than anything, as you go into Thanksgiving's this week, and as you go into Christmas and whatever other holidays you celebrate, with all the holiday things that come up and all the family stuff that comes up, just remember to be kind. Be kind towards yourself. Be kind towards those people around you. And look for what is a kindness to myself here. And is it a kindness to myself and my significant other and every family and everybody else involved too, to get angry, to get upset, to go into judgment, resistance, frustration, or to go back into sort of some of the things you may have, had as a child. And instead, just pull your barriers down. Get rid of all the walls you've built up and just allow all the things to flow through you rather than getting stuck in any of it. And I swear it will make things so much easier and so much more enjoyable. And see the humor in all of it. If something doesn't go right, the turkey burns, somebody forgets something, the cookies all fall on the floor, just laugh. Who cares? We spend so much of our lives making things so significant, and we just don't need to. If we could just enjoy things and enjoy whatever happens and see it as funny, see it as silly, even if your mom says this horrendous thing that you're like, oh my God, I can't believe she said that out loud. Look to your person with you, if you have someone with you, and laugh. And if you don't, look to your siblings and laugh. Look to your dad and laugh. Look to somebody else and just be like, yep, it wouldn't be the holidays without that. Right? And just enjoy it. It doesn't have to be stressful. And all the pressure that we put on ourselves and all the pressure that we feel on us or that we're putting on everyone around us, it doesn't need to be there. It just takes choice. And once you're allowing yourself to just choose to just make it be light, make it be fun, just see what it creates. Who cares? It's so much easier. So if you found this valuable, if you know somebody who would benefit from hearing this, I would just so be grateful if you would share it. Thank you so much, you guys. You have an amazing evening and an amazing Thanksgiving. And I will see you all next week. Have a good night, guys.